Hello, and welcome to Instant Insights, a global data strategic intelligence. We track over 100 tech, industry, ESG, and macro themes impacting all major sectors. I'm Martina Raveni, and today I'm joined by Laura Petrone, Principal Analyst in the Strategic Intelligence team here at GlobalData. We're going to talk about a very topical theme, which is online safety. And Laura recently published her Online Safety for Children report, and today we will focus specifically on age verification. Hi, Laura, how are you?
Hi, Martina. Good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I think we can start by saying that digital spaces can be very unsafe, especially for children. Indeed, we have overwhelming evidence of their harmful effect of online activity on young people, such as, for example, like the sharp rise in problematic social media use among adolescents, especially leading to them experiencing very negative consequences. Evidence also shows that young people are increasingly being exposed to a wide range of harmful material. Uh, I'm thinking from pornography to suicide to self-harm content to hate speech. So that's a lot. And we can say that the word online is very difficult to navigate. And specifically today, I would like to talk about one aspect of this theme, which is age verification. Tell me if I'm wrong, but we expect that digital service providers are responsible for ensuring a safe digital environment for children. However, they are currently failing to achieve this. It seems to me that we don't have an adequate mechanism in place to protect people, but especially young people. So to start off, I would like to ask you why age verification has become such an important topic these days.
Yes, you're right. There has been a lot of talk around age verification tools over the past few weeks. And this is because in July, new rules came into force in UK, requiring social media and other online platforms to implement age checks that would stop children accessing adult content. And it's important to stress that these measures coming into force under the Online Safety Act. And so how they will be implemented is an important test for this UK legislation, which is a landmark legislation. Um, the Online Safety Act seeks to hold online platforms responsible for ensuring a safe digital environment for children. And age verification methods are a key tool for enforcing this legislation. Um, and then remember that the stakes are high also because platforms that fail to implement the measures can face hefty fines. We are talking about of up to 80 million pounds or 10% of this company's global turnover. And senior executives at tech companies could also face up to 2 years in jail if they fail, if they ignore the enforcement notices from the regulator Ofcom.
Okay, so the Online Safety Act is the landmark act that we need to rely on, and age verification is a part of that, if I understood correctly. But you mentioned the UK, and we understood the importance of age verification. Could you tell us more about the actual implementation of these age verification tools and how it's going within the UK?
So, as a result of the new rules coming into force, online platforms have started to roll out age verification checks in UK to stop children accessing this content, adult content. So they start asking users, for example, to upload identity documents or to enter their credit card details, or sometimes to scan their faces with a camera to prove that they are over 18. And there has been a huge increase as a result, of these age checks. Something like 5 million extra checks a day there are carried out in the UK. And interestingly, this has also coincided with a huge rise of usage of virtual private networks already in the days immediately after the introduction of age-check requirements on the 25th of July. And these VPNs are a way to circumvent age verification because they allow users to hide their location. So this is to say, we are at the very, very early stages of enforcing the Online Safety Act in UK. This is at the moment the strictest legislation that you have on online safety worldwide. And yeah, of course, it's spurring a lot of changes and controversy as well. But it's not just in UK. Now there's a global consensus that online platforms are need to be held responsible for example, pushing harmful content to children through their addictive algorithms. And for the fact that most of the time, they don't have adequate age verification mechanisms in place. Most of the time, they rely on self-declaration. So basically asking users to enter the date of birth or to tick a box to say that they are over 18. But obviously, these methods are not effective. So the way the UK is enforcing this legislation is being closely watched all around the world, and especially in the European Union, in Australia, and in some US states as well. So all these jurisdictions are looking to impose age check requirements for some sites.
That's really interesting, and it's interesting that UK is a sort of leading in this age verification tool and is for it at the same time, I'm guessing, a controversy, I think you mentioned before. And my question is, why have these measures has spurred such a controversy? Why do you think is that the case?
Well, for a number of reasons. To start with, age assurance methods, age verification are one of these age assurance methods. So these methods are far from foolproof and can be circumvented using, as I said, VPNs. Um, but there are also issues with potential privacy violations because to be effective, most of these age verification methods must collect personal data, like biometric data. If you think when you're asked to use voice or facial features to estimate, so that the system estimate your age. Some of these methods use verified sources of identification like identity card or passport. Um, and the problem is that big tech companies don't have a very good reputation in handling users' data. So especially when it comes to social media companies, there's a problem, an issue with trust um, with these companies handling personal data. And then we are seeing a backlash also for individual freedom issues, with some critics saying that age restrictions encourage a more censored internet, where everything you do gets tracked or monitored. Some have flagged that non-pornographic material has been age-gated. Or another concern is that now adults have to upload biometric data or they have to provide ID to access legal content. And this is viewed as an infringement upon personal freedom. So obviously, these are all valid concerns. And of course, there is still a lot of work to be done to make sure that these age assurance methods are effective, but at the same time, they respect the privacy and the freedom of individuals. For example, it's important that age assurance methods incorporate robust privacy protections like the principle of data minimization so that they ensure that the minimal amount of data required is collected and retained.
Thanks. That's really interesting. And as you said, I totally agree that there are valid concerns. And that's especially interesting how the age verification tool clash in a way with the data privacy theme. And yeah, so thanks so much. That was really interesting. I have a final question for you. I wanted to ask you, do you think age verification tools are sufficient to ensure children safety online?
They are definitely an important method to enforce these rules, but I also think that they need to be handled with care for all the reasons I talked about. Um, and I also believe that tech companies and the industry as a whole should work together with policymakers, but also parents, associations, at civil society to make sure that age assurance, age verification is trusted among the public. But I don't think overall that age verification alone will be enough to ensure children are safe online. Um, what we need is a more holistic approach based on measures that support privacy and safety by design. And this means that safety and privacy consideration but must be identified right from the start when developing a product or service. So we need these rather than restricting content. And these methods should also be combined with effective content moderation mechanisms, effective checks of algorithmic systems as well. All this is to make sure that they comply with existing regulations and existing norms. And finally, education is very important. It's about teaching digital literacy, digital literacy skills to children and empower them to make good decisions independently when it comes to consuming online content. And this is critical because in the end, online harm is a complex issue and its causes are ingrained in our society, so they cannot be addressed by technology alone.
Thank you very much, Laura, for those instant insights. Thanks all for listening, and from us in Strategic Intelligence, see you next time.